Ah, screw that! Ah, crap, I broke my tripod.
This film is a little different. There is no mystery, there is no adventure. There is no gimmick, there is no monologue.
Ah, well, there probably is. You know how these videos usually go.
This film will be made up of 6 far shorter interstitial videos that will be strung together to tell the story of one common narrative.
Oh, crap.
This introduction you just watched, this was part 1 of how my outlook changed after I met my hero. Minutes make moments, and moments are what make you.
Okay, that's not bad. That's 2018 Caleb Jack original content, you know, that's like some A-grade Tumblr stuff.
A big part of who I am today was the result of a moment back on June 17th, 2018. But before that, I was, like any creator around then, absolutely captivated by the uber adventurous, enviably cool Casey Neistat. If there was one person who characterized everything I had ever made before the film, it would be him. I wanted his travels, I wanted his style, I wanted his life.
I haven't watched this video in ages, but I specifically remember like putting this camera down and pressing record and being like, this could be the start of something. And then proceeding to make this.
It was him who inspired me to pick up my first camera and shoot what was to be my first video I ever posted.
The classic book intro. No music. I don't know. What was I trying to do with this? Where's the artistic merit? Oh! It's too good. And the cassette throw, classic vintage CJ dub content, it's too good.
I made a pretty decent stab at it too. Some of the videos I made proved to be successful, which propelled me into my own globetrotting. But this isn't a story about the wave of Casey-influenced imitators. This is a story about the dog and his reflection.
One day, a dog stole a bone out of a butcher shop. And on his way home, where he could eat the bone without anyone bothering him, he had to cross a bridge over a clear stream. He looked down and saw a reflection of himself in the water. He thought that he was seeing another dog with another bone, and being a greedy dog, he made up his mind to get the other bone too. So he snarled and barked and made a grab for the other dog's bone. But as he opened his mouth, out dropped his own bone, and it fell into the water and was gone. The moral of the dog and the bone is, if you keep wanting more and more, you might end up with less and less.
I'm the dog, by the way. You see, being original sounds good, and for the most part, yeah, it is. But this alone is not a structure to build on. For originality is a byproduct of authenticity. You can't just skip a step. Authenticity is real, a product of self-awareness and a projection of oneself. So this is where originality begins. Something Casey would frequently stress is the overvalue of equipment and the importance of story. Story is king, I recall, which I definitely do agree with up to this point. There are plenty of great storytellers out there, but equally as many who are motivated for the wrong reasons. For those who relate to the story, I think the reason we failed is because we didn't have a strong foundation of storytelling, because we were so eager to create something to the same caliber as our heroes, we missed out on all of this. But at the end of the day, originality versus authenticity, well, neither are the right choice. For one must make the mistake to know the mistakes and learn.
You get what I mean though? I was so sure that would work.
Casey was authentic, but the thousands of Neistat imitators, myself included, were just trying to achieve his originality, which defeats the purpose. The artist looks inward to create, not outward at what's working. Be smart about it. Picasso said, good artists copy, great artists steal. Jean-Luc Godard said, it's not where you take things from, it's where you take them to. And I say, Like everything in life, art is trial and error. Experiment, transform, and above all, learn. And finally, in May of 2018, I was on my journey to learn. I had just spent over a month in North America piloting an online show for Uber Eats, editing and filming day and night.
But to tell you the truth, I miserably failed. I was young, I didn't have the experience, and I finally realized that chasing your dreams isn't some wondrous adventure. You see, it takes... Here we go. But one yes is greater than 100,000 no's.
So at the end of it all, I continued chasing. Instead of taking my return flight home from San Francisco, I booked a 4-day train from the west coast of California to New York City. I think I summed it quite well in the first and only video I made here. I adored New York City. I idolized it all out of proportion. No. I romanticized it all out of proportion. To me, no matter what the season was, this was still a city that existed in time lapses and pulsated to the great shots of Casey Neistat. But that's where the problems start. Being from New Zealand, especially New York, was the noisiest place I could be.
What the f*** am I doing here?
It was always bustling, but equally empty, in the sense that it was so easy to be alone there because you were surrounded by laser-focused people who don't really care about you. But this silence helped. It gave me a platform to realize my own voice, and this is where the Vilm was born. I never had the idea of meeting Casey during my time there, but when the opportunity arose, of course, I hopped on my bike and hooned through the avenues.
It's so easy to gloss over these stories and kind of make it snazzy and special, but I thought it would make sense if I just very candidly just talked to you and told you what it was like. So, I remember it very vividly. I think I was on 93rd Street on the Upper West Side, so I was quite high up in Manhattan, just in the burbs sort of thing. And then I saw this tweet about him, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, I'm going. Then I clutched these notes in my hand, and it was I wanted him to be a part of this thing because I really trusted in it. I still do, I still believe in it, but in a different sort of way. So here is just some random notes. And so I clutched these notes in my hand as I was riding down the avenues, and I finally made it to this crowd which had accumulated outside, I think one of his wife's pop-up shops or something like that. And I just remember having a sour taste in my mouth when I was just kind of surrounded and a part of this group of fans or groupies who were screaming his name, and I did not at all want to be a part of that. And so there's this photo of when he first came. He's signing someone's camera or something like that, and I'm just in the background looking totally disinterested. I realized that I'd been kind of idolizing this guy, and everything that I was, setting out to do and stories I was telling were all kind of in the pursuit of achieving something to his standards or to what he would do, which is so just wrong because how am I even myself if I'm doing that? 20 minutes passed, half an hour passed, there were less and less people, everyone had kind of got their photo and then booked, and I was still there. I was waiting to the very end, and then I think as he was leaving I was like, Casey, and I was so nervous, and I just grabbed these notes out of my pocket and I was like, I'm going to change content creation, and I handed him these notes and I told him go over them, and if you get something out of it, email me back. But I never heard back. And looking back on that, I'm just so glad that I didn't, because there's so many different ways I can unpack this, but at the end of the day, he's just a person, he's a dad. I learned to kind of not put these people on pedestals. Their voice is no more true or more valid than my own. And it took to go to New York and to meet him and to kind of get blindsided by him to learn that that's not what I should be doing.